Hello, Ron. So I'd like to welcome to Compendium Finance Twitter space. So today I have Jake and Sean, co-founders of Compendium Finance, and just myself, the business development person. So, just Jake, Sean, give yourselves an introduction, who you are, what you do.
I think you're selling yourself short just saying business development person. Timothy's the head of business development. Um, yeah, I'm Jake. Most of you guys know me as Grimy Fish Tank from Discord. I'm usually the one, talking to people, doing announcements in the middle of the night. One of the co-founders of Compendium Fi. I've been, involved in the space since around 2014. Like most people, you get your start with Bitcoin mining and it quickly moves into trading. Since then, crypto's been a full-time career for me. I've, you know, um, helped build exchanges, wallet, on-ramps, payment systems, worked with, several different layer ones over the years, um, and kind of do it all. And I still consult on the side. And early last year, Sean and I have known each other for a little bit now. We decided to, take it to the next level and had been building a suite of trading tools that was in use by a lot of our immediate network, and the idea to make this more public came to fruition. So I think we launched in I think the first public product for Compendium went live in March of last year with some initial data that we had been collecting, and that's when the verified bot marketplace for FTX went live, and we quickly saw a bit of growth and decided, hey, we should build on this. And throughout that time frame, and there's a roadmap that we'll go into and discuss more so like what's the what products we have, what's established, what updates we're pushing to those products, and what comes next. But yeah, we'll get there. I don't want to take up too much time with an introduction because I could talk for the whole hour. So let's go over to the other guys, and then we'll get back into the roadmap.
I guess this is where I do an intro,
Yes, Trader Joe.
huh? Yeah, I'm Sean, otherwise known as Trader Joe. Like Jake, I got started my crypto journey and being in copious amounts of grabs and ASICs and whatnot, and then I had to do something with it. Figured I'd learn how to trade, and it kind of morphed itself into a lot of automated trading exploration. And Jake and I met in a Discord and tried to find some good algorithms and good sites that offered what we were looking for, and also we just couldn't find anything that gave exactly what we were looking for. So through a series of events, we ended up just deciding that we'd have to make it. So here we are.
That's a nice intro there, Sean.
Sean's straightforwardness.
Hey
My
man,
turn now.
I'm a busy man.
All right, I guess it's my turn now. So yeah, I'm the head of business development at Compendium Finance. I've been working in the Sonic ecosystem for a few years now. I came across from Bonfida as the business development manager, and pretty much I have ambitious goals and dreams for Compendium Finance and what we plan to achieve. So let's get the show going.
Great. You want to take us through, lead the conversation, and we'll follow and go through our planned conversation. And after that, open it up to any questions if people have questions. Feel free to post questions at any time you guys are in Discord. Makes it easier for us to read them.
Of course. So first up, so what does Compendium Finance have planned for the first quarter of 2022 and from here onwards?
So the first quarter, we started off with a bang, announcing the strategic sale, the strategic investment, which included a bunch of pretty well-known entities, especially within trading markets, which is, I would say, is our strong suit when you look at our current and future product offering. Right now, I'm sure everybody on the call is familiar with, but if you're not, we built Compendium as a compendium, where the name comes from, of trading tools for multiple ecosystems within one application. So in order to do this, we need to basically connect to centralized, brokerages. That includes, the native exchange that we launched with FTX, and we'll get to the growth of that ecosystem in a second. And also building on our first protocol, which is Solana. So what we have right now, product wise, on the centralized side, we have the verified trading bot marketplace. This allows third party authors and us to offer first party intellectual properties in there for trading algorithms. You subscribe to a bot, it trades at certain equities, leverages, etc., to a connected FTX account, depending on collateralization that you have. And we have the signal provider service. This was basically the signal provider service was something that we wanted to do. And I think this is a product that kind of gets overlooked, but the more we onboard people, the more like wow factor we have from them. I don't know how familiar everybody, that's listening right now would be with Alertatron, but being avid like bot authors and algorithmic traders, this is something that like we used before Compendium Fi existed and before, we got into creating this platform ourselves. And there's a lot of shortcomings with this, in the UX side, leading a group, setting up a group. It also costs, a decent amount of money to keep a group running as well, because it works on a credit system. That's how they monetize it. And we felt that, it fell short. And with our previous experience with that and our new experience, creating the connections for native centralized exchanges, the signal provider service came to fruition. And what this lets anybody do is like run their own bots using signals from TradingView, a script that you found, a script that you wrote. It doesn't even have to be TradingView. It can be Python script. It could be from any other, webhook provider. As long as you can send a signal to the system, even have a calculator that like makes the signal for you, you can run a bot group. And we decided to, make this free for our users, which we also employ in the service that we'll get to as well. Because, we didn't want that paywall and we didn't want that getting in the way of providing good community tools, especially, our two focuses on the centralized side was easy to use and, inexpensive or free for the users. So, that's a product that we have a lot of focus on. The new web update that we actually posted today has some general information that was added to signal provider service analytics. So you can see if like the group that you're following is overall bullish or bearish sentiment, see like trades per day, a whole bunch of new analytics that are also going to be introduced to the other products as well. And then we get to the copy trading service, which essentially is one of our favorite internal products right now. Big thing that's severely overlooked, the social trading aspect. So trading is psychological. You have large traders we all follow, and some of these run their own trading groups. Some of them, may not run a trading group because of the influence that comes with that. But this allows anybody to essentially automate that. And instead of, having to interact with the Compendium interface on a daily basis, they set it and forget it, and they can trade from the native exchange interface, and all of their followers can get that exact trade posted to them. This is currently in public beta. We're currently running some final testing in Q1 for the updates to that platform to speed it up, scale things out. And then before I move on to the DEX side, it's also worth noting, because the original question was what's in plan in Q1, is we're currently adding a few more centralized exchanges to the ecosystem, which we're really excited about. So, these are brokerage partnerships with several tier 1 exchanges, which will help to boost volume for our ecosystem as a whole. Several other products being integrated, pre-selected baskets, indexes, stuff like that you can utilize these for any connected exchange account for exchanges that we support. And then moving on to the side of things. So the beta terminal of our tool suite as we build it was launched early mid-December, I think. At this point, days seem to blend together for us when you're staring at a computer screen for up to 16 hours a day. But the Solana tool suite, and you can actually go to Compendium Finance, compendium.finance /lightpaper and read along with some of these products if you'd like. But the Solana tool's whole goal with this was to actually launch in phases. And the reason that we wanted to launch this suite in phases was because if we can pump out the simpler integrations to start, we can then, for our more advanced integrations, our automated integrations, which isn't something people are doing a lot of retail-oriented automation on Solana for users. These can all be built into our interface instead of built on top of other protocols. So, for us launching, our own Serum GUI, our own swap aggregation systems, you have some other things like the NFT and Metaverse panel. There's an overlap with the Compendium Pigs ecosystem, which we'll get to by the end of the call, because I'm sure everybody's going to be excited to hear about that. And more of our like enterprise toolbox offerings like token vesting and adding markets or creating your own token on Solana and stuff like that. We wanted to build these out first and perfect them, so that when phase two comes along and we add the automated trading pools, we add the REST API infrastructure, we add futures markets in collaboration with several partners, and then we add the full portfolio manager, and we're working on staking as well, and other mechanisms and partnerships with liquid staking entities, and building this out to essentially, on the centralized side, I guess the best way to put it would be, it's a tool aggregation suite, and we wanted to do that. So like you have a bunch of protocols that build themselves as like aggregators when it comes to markets and pricing and like finding you the best price. And we didn't necessarily want to focus on that because we can work with those protocols. We wanted to focus on aggregating a complete tool list, so that when somebody's interacting with Compendium, you don't have to have 10 different tabs open. Like I'm sure we're coders and developers and business development personnel, but like the DeFi degen with the rest of them, and I can tell you I have like 20 tabs open right now, and there's no need for that. So our main goal here was having that one-stop shop where I can manage all of my DeFi positions from one. So there's a focus on that. Users will see some updates. Right now we're working on wallet integrations with some new partners. That's priority as well. There's also priority for the enterprise API system, which is the most robust data system that is going to be available on top of Solana and Serum when it comes to tracking Serum markets back historically, also providing live WebSocket data as well. We're currently in talks with a few other protocols that I'm sure everybody knows, who will be excited to hear once that goes live. To utilize the Compendium ecosystem, backend infrastructure as well. And that only forwards the whole ecosystem along, and we're excited to work with those people as well. So yeah, I think that's an overview of what's immediately coming. If you're looking out a little bit, I know that we have some roadmap posted, and we can get to end of the call. We can talk about some phase 2, phase 3 things, more of the very intricate things. But I know that's a few questions first before we get there.
Yeah, sure. Jake, there's one question that many users may have is, how would someone go about creating and setting up a copy trading group for themselves or friends or the community?
Yeah, so copy tradings and even the single provider service are actually pretty easy to set up. It's all fully documented on the / documentation page. It walks you through it very simply. You go to the author panel, create a group, and once you have that group created, you can literally link up an API key from either the FTX account if it's a copy trading service, or you can start sending JSON signals to the API key that we give you for a signal provider service. And that's it. And you can manage the rest of your group. You can manage cap size. You can manage your subscribers if it's a private group and you're monetizing it off platform. We wanted to focus on everything being pretty straightforward. I have a background in communication design, and there's a strength there in designing interfaces to be as simple as possible. So as we keep making updates to the application with feedback and tracking exactly what a user's journey looks like, we can keep streamlining these processes to the point where it's literally as simple as it will ever be.
I think one thing to note, though, in addition to the copy trade, or in regards to the copy trade service, is that this is one thing that we ran into when we first started looking into doing this. There's a lot of the currently available copy trade services. So say the trade leader posts a trade for $100, they got $1,000 in their account. That's 10%. That's a 10% risk trade. Well, a lot of the other services, they will either 100% mirror a $100 trade, no matter what your account size is, or it will just use your entire account and say, I'm going to go long on Bitcoin right here. I'm just going to ape it. So what we decided to do was we integrated a risk management system. So if the trade leader decides, okay, I want to risk 10% of my portfolio on this position, our system then goes and queries queries the account data of all of the followers and says, okay, what is the same risk managed level on their account? You got a guy with a $100,000 account. Well, if you just direct copied $100 trade, I mean, it's a drop in the bucket. But his account is going to be then mirrored to the same equity risk as the trade leader. So it doesn't matter what your account is, you're still placing the same trades with the same risk management as the trade leader. And in addition to that, the trade leader, once you've set up the service, you've got your followers in there, all you do is you just trade in that FTX sub account. You don't have to do anything else. There's no other management or anything else needed on your end. It's just you just trade as normal and your group follows. So I just wanted to interject that.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah, of course. And so new copy trading sourcing or provider service is all free of charge, correct?
Yeah, all free of charge for the authors and the group followers on our end. And, if it's a private group and they're, reach out to the author. The reason we did this is that the author can monetize the groups off our system. So we're not an intermediary here. There's less incentive for us from the payment side. And we just wanted to offer these, supplementary services as, complementary to the rest of our suite.
That's great to hear. And so, like, for example, some of the bots we have on the centralized products, what are they? How do they work? How do they navigate certain market conditions, and who can use them?
Well, I mean, anybody can subscribe to them. There's a few different kinds of bots, and you can actually see if your marketplace itself, you can see here it'll like either say it's machine learning, scalp, swing. Our actual most popular bots are the auto hedge bots, which have been performing pretty well against market. For an auto hedge bot, essentially, the overall P&L of that over time, it's comparing it to, market start and market end in collaboration with, where the market is itself right now. But those are quickly becoming one of our most popular. One of the reasons that we can't overlook is because we do offer those for free to users. They're a good way to onboard and understand what an auto hedge bot looks like or how bots work. These work on spot markets, while the rest of the bots usually work on perp markets. So for the spot markets, let's say you subscribe to the Sol 1 hour auto hedge, for example. This, is trading Solana versus USD in your account. So you would either subscribe to this bot and fill up the account with USD or fill up the account with Solana, whatever collateral there you want to push. And then we send signals, it's going to trade that to your account. So, if it's telling you to hedge, it's going to sell the Solana in your account back to USD, and it'll try to buy it in lower again, according to market sentiment. With, some of the other offerings as well, like we have, Dreamcatcher's, OG's Dreamcatcher suite, which is, number one, or top 10 on other platforms as well. And, those trade BTC perp and FPerp. So according to, how FTX would work, you can load your collateral with any asset that they support on their collateral list, and it's going to use that to trade the perp market for you as well, at certain risk thresholds, certain entries and exits dependent on the strategy itself. The super scalper algorithms that we're working on right now, most of them are pretty low time frame, just looking for quick in, quick outs as well to scalp the market. Some of them, the super scalper, Bitcoin V2 that's currently in testing that you can, see a little sneak preview of the marketplace. That's actually the super scalper algorithm on low time frames that we remodified and put on, a little bit of a higher time frame, and has been hitting pretty well so far. So I think we're excited to make that, public pretty soon as well. We're also working with other networks, offering bots for, users of those networks who are looking to, post trades, volume, liquidity, and hedge those offerings as well. And one thing that we always like to focus on was essentially why the trading bot marketplace came to fruition itself, and that's because of lack of transparency and a lot of the other platforms that we used before we made Compendium Fi. I'm not going to throw any names out, but most of them actually report paper trades, and their data is pretty unverifiable and not transparent to the point where their dashboard would say that a trade was 5% positive P&L. Like, I made 5% on that, but they're not including slippage, they're not including funding, they're not including fees. It's exactly when the signal was sent and when it was done. And let's say it held a trade over for a month and I paid funding the whole time, and by the time it closes, that trade was no longer profitable. So one thing that we do actually with a verified trading bot marketplace, and this is why we have the word verified in it, why we focus on that, is because we wanted a true verified data collection service for this. So all of the bots that you see here, we actually manage sub accounts for them, and the signals get sent to those sub accounts as well. And we track all of the data from those sub accounts. So all of the graphs that you see are actually live traded test accounts. There's no paper trading. When you look at the historical trades, we actually fetch those via API from that account. It doesn't come directly from our database at all. So we try to be fully transparent with all of the products that we create in the ecosystem, because that's one of the most important things to why Compendium was created in the first place. I think that that's an important part to all of our strategic partners as well. This is what you see is what you get. Like, that's in simplest terms what you get when you're looking at a strategy on the marketplace.
That's a great insight. Thanks for sharing that, Jake. Moving forward, in regards to our decentralized products, what makes the Compendium Finance Serum UI different to any other UIs?
Yeah, so our goal here, and there's a lot, we're very happy with the current iteration of it, but there's a lot of work to do, and we're excited. We have a full internal dev net that has a lot of updates that we're excited to post to the general public soon. But the overall goal with any Serum, anything that attaches to Serum, anything that attaches to any other A&M that we plan to create, was to actually have that true exchange experience. Even other large protocols on Solana all just use forks of like the basic Serum GUI code. There's nothing unique about it. Most of them aren't even recolored. They're all same color, and all they did was put their logo on it. I get it. You want to offer an exchange, awesome, great. But there should be work that goes into it, because you're just handed an open source code, and that's one of the best things about open source is anybody can launch it. But if you're building a whole platform, you should probably build on top of it a little bit. So one of the things that we wanted to employ, was a completely customized user experience that revolves around how it would feel to interact with a centralized exchange. Because that's one of the best things about working with the Serum order books is, the ability to build what would essentially be a centralized exchange utilizing on-chain order books. And instead of, logging in with an email and getting KYC'd, I connect my Phantom wallet and I can trade the same way. So, we have a few updates coming soon, and I actually think this would be a good time to bring. One of the things that we want to focus on as well, this can be a pretty controversial product when it comes down to it, but the way we wanted to approach design correctly, we're actually making on-chain Serum orders accessible via REST APIs. So anybody can go, and fork Serum core and make your own, your own protocol for, your own scripts for, calling trades connected to, your wallet and stuff like that. But there's also a large learning curve with that. And before that, right before that learning curve starts, is the introduction of REST APIs. Everybody's familiar with how, an FTX API may work, or, a Binance or Binance may work. And we wanted to take that experience and have the users interact with the same way on chain. So, you hook up your API key, and, you put in basically, like, I can pull, it's really simple. I actually have the documentation right here. So I put in a market name. You don't even need to find like what the market account is. You don't need to find the token account. You can literally just do like BTC/USDC. Side would be sell or buy. You put in a price. You put in the size. Order type, we're working on the Serum, so we're going to put limit. And then you put your API key in, and I can trade exactly how I would trade on FTX via a custom interface, but on chain. And I think this is, something that's severely overlooked. And in collaboration with, our WebSockets, our charting information that's going live soon, all of our historical data for, I think Sean could probably correct me, but I'm pretty sure we started tracking historical data on over 800 Serum markets right now. So, in collaboration with all of,
I think it's 1,300 now. We've got a
growth.
lot more. We are literally charting every single Serum market that every one I can get my hands on. We're adding to the list to chart. So one of the things we noticed was this is a heavily gated. I guess the charting. It's hard to get your token on a chart. You either got to know somebody or you got to pay somebody. Well, we're doing it. We're aggregating all of the data. Every single Serum token, and every single Serum market that we can find will have a chart. And so you will be able to pull historical data on it, and you'll have live up-to-date trade data on it as well.
And then you combine that with the REST APIs to manipulate trades, and combined with our centralized inspired GUI, it's like trading on a centralized exchange, but utilizing on-chain experience.
That sounds great. We talked quite a lot about APIs. This leads into the next question I'm going to ask, and that is, so everyone knows now that Compendium Finance is going to offer a complete API service for the Solana ecosystem. So what does that mean for, new projects launching on Serum? So what does it mean for new tokens, new projects on Serum?
So it makes it easier from a lot of different perspectives. Compendify, this native ecosystem isn't the first token ecosystem that I've worked with. It's not, you worked with Bonfida previously. You've seen how it goes as well from enough. But for new projects, data aggregation is key for the livelihood of a project. The way to interact with, a token ecosystem, even though Solana is expanding, it's still very small in most aspects. So we wanted, our API infrastructure brings charting, it brings data, it brings the ability to, utilize this information to any ecosystem partner. And it also provides the ability to essentially traditionally market make Serum markets as well in a simpler fashion. There's a lot of custom code out there, easily accessible, great, but there's also, that learning curve involved as well. Now you're just interacting. You can run, a traditional grid bot, plug in our APIs, and good to go. Now you're setting markets and you're creating volume for a trading pair. And where are you going to get the information for the data on this trading pair? You can query it right from Compendium Fi.
Alrighty, so moving on from API discussion, it's been quite in depth and quite exciting for both retail and developers on the Solana ecosystem. Jake, do we have any announcements to make?
Yeah, we launched a token today. Well, the public launch was today and distribution was today. And we're excited to announce, in collaboration with other major ecosystem partners, that the Iridium Fusion Pool CM5 to USDC is currently live. We have, I think, 700,000 CM5 planned for over 12 weeks for emissions for that. And then there's also a similar double dip Orca pool coming live as well. So with that, the liquidity pool is already provided for that. There's links to everything in our Discord channel and on our official Twitter. Anybody listening, make sure you use official links. Always watch what application you're interacting with, please. On the NFT side of things, we launched our Compendium Pig initiative a few months ago, and over the past few months, we went through drop 1 through 3. Drop 1, welcome to the farm. Drop 2, the deepest of dreams, and drop 3 was the special 3D drop. And there's 5 drops planned. So now that we have some of the ecosystem products, rolling out, and we're in a comfortable development environment with that, where we know exactly what's on our roadmap. We're excited to get back to some of the NFT ecosystem, internal roadmap that we had. We currently will be announcing, a few NFT staking partners soon, which we're really excited about, that the Compendium Pigs initiative can use. And then, I don't want to get too much into it because we'll talk about it later this week, but the Compendium Pig should probably start delisting. You think they should start delisting, Tim?
Well, I think it depends on the incentive and reward there.
Yeah, I guess, they'll just have to find out soon.
I would I would have it in your wallet. Just gonna leave it at that. Wallet.
So yeah, we're excited about that. We're excited to build out the NFT ecosystem as well. A lot of people overlook the fact that NFTs, while they're collectibles and why they can be so many extraordinary things that haven't even been explored yet, at the base of it is still it's a trading. It's a way to trade. It's a way to trade value. And specialized NFT trading engines, is something that we're looking into, utilizing down the road. We've already introduced, the NFT and metaverse section of our website as well. We had the partners from Endomint launch the friendly Platy as a proof of concept on our launch pad, so that we could show some traction on the NFT side of things. And if you go to the web, the NFT Metaverse tab on dex.compendiumfi.fi, you can see some of the other things that we have planned here, some of our partners, and we'll be adding a bunch of information on this soon. I know everybody wants, when airdrop, and they want to know what they're getting, but we'll stick to our guns, and we'll just keep it with maybe just, hold it in your wallet for now.
Thanks for sharing that, Jake. So next topic I want to discuss is, so the CMFI token, what can you do with it? What makes it different to any other token?
Yeah, so, one of the things that we actually wanted to focus on when we're building out the whole product suite was how does each product that we do, how does it create revenue for our system, to feed back into infrastructure, and how would the CMFI token be integrated into it? So we already covered a lot of the specialized trading tools that we have on both the centralized and decentralized side and how those are growing and what we'll be adding to them as well. So we wanted to integrate CMFI into accessing, different tiers of trading tools for different ecosystems. But we also wanted to do this in a collaborative effort so that it was beneficial for the ecosystem as a whole. We didn't want just to have CMFI sitting stagnant to utilize some tools. We will be focusing on, providing CMFI liquidity in order to gain access to these tools, because that helps the ecosystem in several ways, and this should be, a self-healing process here that, where liquidity is always in play. So, holding, and we'll be verifying, tokens soon now that the pools are live. So, holding liquidity pool tokens, verified liquidity pool tokens will give you access to certain tools. And then there's also, a lot of incentives with some of the things that we're doing as well. So, we talked about automated trading groups and passing, but the ability to collect fees and rewards for automating trading groups, collecting P&L from the groups. These are, non-custodial trading groups. They can be, baskets of assets. They'll be accessible on futures markets as well as spot markets as well in the future. So CMFI will be greatly embedded in this protocol. And another thing that we're focusing on as well, before we move to it, while we're talking about fees and rewards, is the referral system itself. So one thing that, essentially brings volume to centralized exchanges that we work with is their internal referral systems. And this is something that isn't really popular on DEXs. And we wanted to, bring a referral system in so that, you connect your wallet, you get a link, and if somebody uses your link, you start getting referral feedback from the trades that they post through our ecosystem. So, all of this will be done through CMFI. In addition to that, we have more of the more common things, the staking, yield farming, lending protocols that will be attached to some of the advanced products we're about to launch. And one of the things that we also wanted to focus on was because, we talk about the centralized side and the DEX side, and most of the time when people say, when we talk about the DEX side, they think we just mean Solana. But the ability to add other efficient layer ones is already in our roadmap as well, to create unique interfaces and, multi-chain bridges for all of these. And CMFI is a way to bridge value between our products for all of these ecosystems, not just on the DEX side, but also, from the DeFi side to the centralized side. Let's say, for example, we start working with an exchange and you have CMFI spot holding on this exchange. We can query that with your API keys to run trading tools, and you can get specialized offers, and specialized tools that won't be available to the greater public for holding CMFI on this, exchange, and helping to automate your trading, helping to manage your portfolio for you. Passive income is key in every way. We talked about our APIs, our enterprise products as well, and CMFI will play a great role there. At this stage, we currently don't plan to do a full DAO ecosystem, but we do plan on having specific voting street features for, potentially added projects, products, markets, etc. So it'll also be utilized there as well. There are a lot of, I hate to put other ecosystem projects down, but a lot of their use case around their token itself is nada, and they just have, a buy and burn that they use protocol revenue on. And while this is great for, people, a selling gimmick. It effectively fails every security test there is, especially, if they were to come under scrutiny when trying to list on a U.S. exchange. So one of the things that we want to do, because we plan to work with U.S. exchanges in the future on our trading tool suite, is make it so that CM5 pass security tests, and could legally, obtain passing opinions from several different legal entities in order to list on a full list of international exchanges, no matter what their jurisdiction was. So while we did want to integrate it in every product, we also wanted to design the utilities very succinctly, so it fit within certain definitions. And I think my favorite one, because things change, new market changes, new products are added. We can add new products as we mess around with code on different ecosystem layers, etc. So we always have the ability to add dynamic utility aggregations to this. As we all start offering a new product, we can plan that product in CM5 utility, which I think is important. Remain on your feet and remain vigilant to change, because that's what the whole crypto ecosystem is.
Thanks for sharing that, Jake. So I think that wraps up our scope of discussion for today. Sean, Jake, do you have any final remarks?
I mean, I've done a
Honestly, yeah.
I've done a bunch of talking.
Go ahead, Jake.
I think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's worth noting, that if anybody's willing to try out the trading tool suite, you can access the DEX at dex.compendium.fi. If you're looking into the NFT ecosystem, the Compendium pigs are available on Magic Eden, Buys, FTX, a whole list of platforms, and look out for what we plan to do with the future drops, and in addition to the hints that we gave about keeping them in your wallet for now. And then on the centralized tool suite, we have the extra exchanges coming, and we currently, I said the auto hedge bots are free to use. I think that's if you're looking to get into this, I think that's a perfect place to start for people. And then the Soul Swinger right now, for anybody any new account, you get a free 1-month trial to Soul Swinger. It's a pretty crazy bot. It plans entries and exits pretty well. This last drop wasn't so nice to it, but overall it's still doing pretty well. One thing that we look at, it's like, okay, single trade may go wary, but overall, trading time frames, you want something that will outperform, market average as well. And one of the things that I really like is our Dogebot. That thing's an absolute monster. And then, I talked about it. We have a few more bots coming up as well, which we plan to market. I think there's 6 in private testing right now. There's a few that you can see testing on the dashboard. So look for those.
I'm looking at it right now. The BTC Super Scalper is through this whole giant Bitcoin drop is up. It's made 9% in the last few days.
Yeah, when the market's down, 50% in the last few days, making 9% free isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Excited about those, and we're coming next. Everybody keeps asking us, about what's next for CMFi, and initially we want to focus on, providing liquidity to the DEXs, working with the DEXs, establishing those markets. We do have, some things with some centralized exchanges planned. But we want to, release these in waves, and we want our markets to be efficient, and we want them to play a role. So we'll continue to provide the community with updates regarding those. And keep moving forward, and build no matter what the overall greater market does.
Beautiful. Thanks for that, Jake. Thanks for your time, Sean, and thank you everyone for tuning in today.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Everybody listening. I'm sure that I think we were, if you want to share it with anybody, and then we'll be in Discord for a little bit. Usually answer any time of day. So if you have any questions after listening to it, feel free to come ask.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.